Prepare to be astounded by this film. For XRP Ripple, today marks a watershed moment in its history. Both the ending and the predictions are crystal clear. The SEC and Ripple might be able to avoid a courtroom showdown today. The possibility that the price of XRP could skyrocket and eventually reach $20,000 immediately. Isn't that awesome? Let's dissect it. Do not overlook this symbol of power. It is crucial. In the realm of cryptocurrency, XRP is swiftly becoming a major story. Novel regulations, institutional backing, and political backing all coalesce now. Previously, institutions can now purchase a cryptocurrency that was formerly considered illicit as a legitimate asset. A large portion of the community anticipates that May 19th will mark a watershed moment for XRP. Page 4b1. May 19th has been suggested by a community member as potentially the most significant day in XRP's history. This concept is derived on the reality that the CME Group was going to introduce some new exchange-traded funds ETFs for futures. However, futures exchange-traded funds ETFs altered the trajectory of cryptocurrency. To some, it may appear to be nothing more than a commodity on the market. Once Bitcoin and Ethereum's futures exchange-traded funds ETFs were operational, their prices fluctuated significantly. Even more dramatic price swings occurred with the introduction of spot ETFs. Perhaps XRP will finally break through the ceiling at this point. It is finally entering a new era of institutional power after being mired in stagnation for quite some time. Exposure to an asset without really owning it is possible with an exchange-traded fund ETF, in case you didn't know. Contrasted with futures ETFs, which are based on wagers on future pricing, spot ETFs are backed by the actual product. With the addition of a spot ETF to a coin, institutional investors like banks and pension funds can purchase it. Those who possess billions of dollars should be able to behave lawfully. Assuming XRP garnered such interest, the situation would be drastically different. What makes this more intriguing is the abrupt shift in the nation's capital. A pro-market former SEC commissioner named Paul Atkins reportedly has served as chair of the SEC from Gendler, Gary. The blockchain industry and authorities may be able to work together more effectively now that Atkins is on board, since he has previously stated his desire for equitable crypto regulation. Already, U.S. banks have been granted authority to engage with cryptocurrency markets by the Federal Reserve, marking a first for institutions. The long-running investigation by the SEC on Ripple is nearly concluded. Finally, some of the legal clouds are starting to part over XRP. The SEC will lose this action until it acknowledges it was incorrect regarding XRP, as Business Bull stated on X. Looking at Dion, it was obvious. Neither an acknowledgement nor a rejection. In his previous ruling, the judge rejected XRP as a stock. The SEC's inaction makes things worse. Having said that, a legal tangle is just one part of this. Once again, you must demonstrate to the public and financial markets that XRP has value. Government support for cryptocurrency is also on the rise. The former president, Donald Trump, has repeatedly stated his support for U.S. stocks and cryptocurrency. One possibility is that he considered including XRP into a proposal for a protected area. Stocks in the United States, according to Trump, will soar to new heights. Trader captured the essence of the occasion in a powerful tweet. In my opinion, XRP is going to achieve its objective at the perfect moment. At last, the pieces are fitting together, and XRP is no longer the odd man out. A major shift is occurring with XRP. It was formerly the subject of a lawsuit that it started out as a token but has now evolved into a heavily traded financial instrument that is attracting the interest of both the public and established institutions. Its impact may become clear in the coming weeks. If you happen to be an XRP owner at the moment, you might want to brace yourself for the biggest price collapse in cryptocurrency history, according to J4B1. The XRP Ripple price can possibly skyrocket as a result of this incident. One small catch though. There must have been pumps in your past, correct? Probably not right now. The impending events have the potential to drastically alter XRP's future. Field experts say mind-blowing things, and the market could be in for a surprise as to what occurs next. Here is a tweet that Jack the Rippler sent out. You will become wealthy using XRP. This straightforward statement confirms what many long-term holders have suspected for some time. Furthermore, an expert on Ripple said that XRP will experience a 40,000% increase the day the SEC case against Ripple concludes. Get ready for a massive verdant candle. Such price movements may seem fantastical, but consider the fate of Bitcoin and Ethereum following the government's clarification. Recurrence of this is certainly conceivable. Specifically, due to the lengthy duration of the dispute, XRP's actual market potential has been hindered. Consider this, if you're still uncertain about whether or not it's all rhetoric. According to Brett's tweet, a $1,000 investment in XRP in 2013 would have yielded about 445,600 today. This is serious. It's no secret that the first backers got rich quick. For a lot of people, especially with things looking better in the grand scheme of things, since it was a very profitable event. The XRP captain's prediction that XRP may reach $10,000 bar per coin astonished most people. That one figure frightened every single person in the market. That would be an insane 421,800% gain at the current pricing. A lot of people in the cryptocurrency community think it's weird and dangerous. To top it all off, Pompey has said that XRP might hit a $1,000 in the future as a result of Ripple's efforts to integrate global financial systems and tokenize real-world assets. This isn't mere speculation. Many believe that XRP will eventually surpass all other things in importance, global currency. But hear me out, when 53.6 billion XRP tokens are in circulation, the value of each one will be $10,000. The market value exceeds $536 trillion. More than the sum of all the world's money, in fact. A number of opponents of these forecasts argue that they fail to take fundamental business principles into account. Everyone who is a fan of the show thinks this review is completely unrealistic. Mathematically, it's impossible until every bank in the world is rewritten. What then is genuine? Is it even feasible? Realists predict that XRP's platform for cross-border payments will see substantial use by keeping expanding is going to be worthwhile for a long time due to the businesses and expanding network of worldwide partners. X-Force and other analysts have predicted that XRP might hit $10 to $20. However, according to Egrig Crypto, if Ripple is successful in its court battles and banks continue to adopt it, its value will reach $270 by the end of 2025. Without wasting time, even though it doesn't sound as thrilling as $10,000, that's still a substantial amount of money. In conventional banking, it is quite unusual to earn a return of almost 10 times one's initial investment, i.e. $20 for $5. Actually, XRP is smack dab in the heart of a tremendous opportunity and a great deal of optimism. The case with the SEC does not have a specified end date. In a perfect world, it may be time for exchange-traded funds, ETFs, to establish connections with banks and see actual use. However, those that invest financially have a great deal of responsibility when there is a lot of potential. You need to be able to tell the hype from the reality when it comes to cryptocurrency. The future may hold great promise if XRP advocates are correct. However, whether it meets their expectations remains to be